My name's Rachel and I have a book buying problem. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Ray, what Ray reads. Follow me on Instagram and follow me on TikTok because you want to. You may be thinking, Rachel, this is a weird setup. It's weird to see you standing up. Well, today we are doing something a little bit different. I've had a few requests and I think it's time that I lift the veil of secrecy and shame and show you my actual physical TBR. So as you can see here, we've got my beautiful bookshelf, colour coordinated, which I learned on TikTok's apparently loser behaviour for some.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy blocking out the haters.
I think it's iconic, why would I not colour coordinate? But that's besides the point. On here we have a mixture of mostly red, some to be read. Then as you can see here, we've got my TBR cart that is over full and overflowing with books. And then down on the ground, which I'll show you shortly, we've got even more books. So this is going to be not only interesting to you, but interesting to me because I'm about to discover how many books I actually have on my TBR. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, take this off. I am absolutely melting. This is what I like to call my clueless cardigan because I just feel like Cher from Clueless when I'm wearing it. So I'm like, where do I start? Where do I start? The most books I've got are the ones that aren't on the shelf. These are books that I've bought over the past year and books that have been sent kindly and gifted by publishers. So I think we'll do them last. But what we're going to do first is we'll start shelf by shelf and I'll go through the ones that I haven't read yet. So let's start. Shelf 1. This is what I refer to as the red and pink shelf. So as you can see, I've got a nice full shelf and I'm just going to go through and stop at each one I've not read. So let's start. Antarctica by Claire Keegan, a collection of short stories by the wonderful Irish writer Claire Keegan. I absolutely love her writing and I just haven't read it yet, so do need to get to it. Misery by Stephen King. Watched the film, had a very profound impact on me as a young child. It was the first time I ever watched a film where I felt like I was on the edge of my seat. So I've actually never read any Stephen King books. I've watched a lot of his adaptations but never read any of his books. So I think I'll start with this when I fancy. The Deloriad by Missouri Williams. I've had this for probably almost 2 years and I've just not gotten around to reading it yet, but it sounds very mysterious. Saltwater by Jessica Andrews. Got this secondhand in a charity shop and I think it touches on class, working class identity and moving to a big city. I think sounds right up my street. Misogynation by Laura Bates. The true scale of sexism. So when I fancy a non-fiction, I've read a few of Laura Bates. I just love her exploration and perspective on patriarchy, misogyny and sexism. So when I'm in the mood to rage, I'll read this. Who Rules the World by Noam Chomsky. I got this from a little shop in Hay-on-Wye and I've never actually read any Noam Chomsky, but I do plan on soon. When the world seems too much, I'll read it. I mean, the world is already too much.
She's got a point.
I'm just now realising that I do have quite a lot of books on the red and pink shelf that I haven't read. Cherry by Nico Walker. Again, I got this in Hay-on-Wye. It was only about $4.99 and I absolutely love the cover. It's about the after effects of the Iraq War from the point of view of a soldier with PTSD, I believe. I just thought it seemed interesting. Fault Lines by Emily Itami. Got this again second hand from a charity shop. Heard great things. I literally paid $1.99. As you can see. The Memory Police by Yoko Agawa. I got this quite soon after I joined Bookstagram because I've seen a lot of people talking about it and it feels like it's got a kind of 1984 vibe. Oh, here we go. It says on the back, echoes of themes of George Orwell's 1984. Sounds iconic. Still, I haven't read it. Native Son by Richard Wright. I can't even remember when I got this and what led me to get it, but I think someone said it was like a classic American novel. I'm just gonna try and fly through a few of these, otherwise this video is gonna be about 50 million years long. The Manning Tree Witches by A.K. Blakemore. We Keep the Dead Close, A Murder at Harvard and Half a Century of Silence by Becky Cooper. I've been saying I was going to read that for the last 2 Halloweens. Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. Hopefully I've pronounced his name right. I've read a few of his books, Slaughterhouse 5 and another one. I really like his style of writing. I know he's considered sort of a classic, unusual author, and yeah, I'll have to read it soon because I don't read many male authors. No! My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinem. I think I bought that after I watched a TV series and I picked it up about 3 years ago and still haven't read it. The Happy Couple by, oh, it's an Irish name. How do I pronounce it? Editing Rachel here, and I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Nisha. This is the author of Exciting Times, and I know Exciting Times was quite a divisive read, but I personally enjoyed it, so I got her next book. Parasol Against the Axe by Helen Oyemi. I was sent this by a publisher, and I know that Helen Oyemi's got like a bit of a cult following. I've never read any of their work before, so I'm looking forward to reading that. How to Leave the House by Nathan Newman. I was kindly sent this last summer and it sounds like a retold time, but yeah, I haven't read it. We're going to truly discover together the percentage of books that haven't yet been read on this shelf. The Rabbit Hutch by Tess Gunty. I picked this up after learning that it's set in a housing complex, like a rundown housing complex, and it has themes of foster care in it, and I was in foster care, so I like to read stories that give a voice to those characters. You and Me on Vacation, Emily Henry. One of the only books of Emily Henry's I've not read because I feel I need to be on vacation when I read it. I need a holiday. Intimacies by Katie Kutamura. One of my Bookstagram friends said this is a really great book, but I hope it's better than her latest book, which I listened to on audio, and let's just say it wasn't for me. All's Well by Mona Awad. Loved Bunny, bought this, still haven't read it. Funny You Should Ask by Elisa Sussman. I wanted sort of a light-hearted book when I bought this, but obviously the light-heartedness didn't last because it's still sat there. But I've heard mixed things. People say they liked it or hated it, but I just haven't got round to it. So that was everything on that shelf. I'd say probably about 70% of it has to be read. So yeah, on to the next shelf. This one I have read more of. Okay, Sad Girls by Lang Leave. My friend bought this for me as a gift probably about 3 years ago and haven't read it yet. Watching Women and Girls, Danielle Pender. I've heard this is great. I think it's a collection of short stories that's supposed to be very poignant. Felt the need to really buy it and have it immediately and then not read it. Must I Go by Yi Yun Lee. I think I got this second hand from a charity shop, or did I buy it off Vinted? It's second hand, and yeah, I haven't read it. Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. My friend gave this to me to read because he loves it, and I'm pretty sure this is his copy that I've still not read. Bit of a theme happening here. Quiet by Susan Cain. This is about introverts and being a quiet person. I bought this years and years ago. I think I did. Did I buy it second hand? There's a quote by Naomi Wolf, who's that sort of right-wing grifter. So I need to look into whether I should read this or get rid of it. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I am not usually a girl who reads fantasy, but I read Babel and adored it. Read Yellow Face. So I thought, if I'm going to give fantasy a go, it's going to be the Poppy War trilogy. So I bought this, and let's just say the first in the trilogy hasn't even been cracked open. On Palestine by Noam Chomsky and Alain Papé. I got this again from Hey On Why, and I think it's important to read now more than ever before. Woman Eating by Claire Coder. Got this second hand, and I've heard this is a great vampire-esque book, and I just don't know why I haven't read it, to be honest. Oh, it's getting hot in here. On to the next shelf. Whoopsie. The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop, or Miss Emily Gilmore. I was kindly sent this during Gilmore Girls season, but I haven't read it. I don't know why. Okay. Bliss Montage Stories by Lingma. I absolutely adore the cover of this book. A few Bookstagram friends said it was great, so I bought it, and that was about 2 years ago now. Moving Beyond Words, Age, Rage, Sex, Power, Money, Muscles, Breaking Boundaries of Gender by Gloria Steinem. And when I was first getting into, you know, me feminism and me reading about 8 years ago, when I was getting really serious about it, I bought this, and it was secondhand. And yeah, I still haven't read it. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Vagabonds by Alagosia Asunde. I've heard great things about this. I've got multiple copies of the Bell Jar because I like to collect different editions. So if you see in multiple copies, that's the reason why. Milkman by Anna Burns. I got this in Euston Station about 4 years ago when I was waiting for my train. I don't know why, but it just kind of fell to the wayside. Death Valley by Melissa Broder. I've read all the other Melissa Broder books, and they kindly sent me this, and I just haven't read it. But a lot of her other books that I've read have been kind of summer reads, so maybe I need to get this read during the summer. Sex and Rage by Eve Babbitt. I read Black Swans and loved it, so I wanted to read this, and what an iconic title, Sex and Rage. Advice to young ladies eager for a good time. Your Silence Will Not Protect You by Audre Lorde. This is considered sort of a classic feminist piece of literature by the iconic author Audre Lorde, and yeah, I've just not gotten round to it. Will You Care If I Die? A book that is from the Swedish author Nicholas Lunabe, and I was sent this, and it sounds really up my street. I just haven't got round to it. Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. Again, I was sent a proof of this, and I've heard great things. This Is Not a Pity Memoir by Abby Morgan. Breathtaking, this book is a gift, according to Meryl Streep. Carey Mulligan said, I could not have loved this more. I don't really know what possessed me to get this, because I bought it secondhand, but something must have, but I do love a good memoir. The Paris Trilogy by Colembe Schneck. Sent this by Scribner. They sent me a box of books at the end of last summer, and this was in it. Rosewater by Liv Little, one of the most stunning book covers I've ever witnessed with my own eyes. I got this reduced to $9.99 from a queer bookshop in Leeds, and yeah, I just haven't read it yet. Sugar Baby by Celine St. Clair. Another absolutely beautiful, stunning, yes, that's stunning cover.
Oh, stunning.
And I bought it thinking, I need to read this immediately. I'm going to read it right now. And those words left my mouth about a year and a half ago now. And then this one. This is so random and I don't really know why I've got it. It's Scammer by Caroline Calloway. And I was on the internet during this time, but I had no idea about who Caroline Calloway was, what her law was, and that she had a bit of a cult following. And one day she reached out to me on Instagram and offered to send me a book, and I shared it on Instagram, and I was like, does anyone know if this is real and who this woman is? And people were messaging me saying, accept it, say yeah. So I got it. I'm pretty sure she created these books herself. Look, it says there, that's my name. That's a bit random, isn't it? And then it's signed there and it says how many copies it is. But I don't think I'm ever going to read this because I'm not someone who is connected or interested in the law. So I may give this away to someone. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. So that's everything on that shelf. Now we're going to move down to the final 3 shelves. So camera adjustment. So we've moved down to the next set of shelves. Let's start with these ones that are just randomly placed on the top. I've actually read that, so she can move. The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Recently read Nickel Boys and loved it. Got it in like a book fair. Think Again by Jacqueline Wilson. I went to an event with Jacqueline Wilson, and this is the event that we went for, her first kind of like adult book. And yeah, she raised us.
You can't tell me what to do, you ain't my mother! Yes, I am!
The Age of Magical Overthinking, Notes on Modern Irrationality by Amanda Montell. I've read Cultish by Amanda Montell, and I really enjoyed the sort of pop science aspect of it. And yeah, I bought this when it was released and I've still not read it. Let's see what we've got. Insatiable by Daisy Buchanan. A love story for greedy girls. Perfect for me then, but apparently not perfect enough because I've still not read it. Singin' and Swingin' and Getting Merry Like Christmas by Maya Angelou. I think it's sort of an autobiography. She she released multiple autobiographies, if I'm correct, but I think I got this secondhand a few years ago because I want to read her work because I've never read any of them. I need a better system of how to pick books so I'm not just being a bit random. So any tips are welcome. Rum River by Joan Didion. If you've been following me for a while, you know I am a fan of Joan Didion's writing, but I'm always needing to read more because I've actually only read like 3 of her books. And I got this, I think, after hearing Greta Gerwig talk about it. And then, is there any more on this? Yeah, there we go. Word Slut by Amanda Montell. I got this after reading Cultish as well, and sounds like really iconic, and I've just not read it. But it was one of them as well where I got it because I was like so desperate to read it. And here she is sitting on the shelf. No One Belongs Here More Than You, Stories by Miranda July. Haven't read it. Now on to the next shelf. My friend, he knew that I wanted to read more classics and he got me Bleak House by Charles Dickens. It's like a very stunning version. Look at the size of that. And the book is very small, so who knows when I'll ever read that. Because, let's be serious, she can't even read what's on the shelves. There's quite a few on this. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, The Silent Woman, Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes. And this looks at their relationship that wasn't all that great as it's made out to be. Johnny Panic and the Bible of Dreams. Obviously big fan of Sylvia Plath, and I got this secondhand online. Disappearing Earth by Julia Phillips. This sounds very riveting, and I think I bought it about 3 years ago randomly in the bookshop. The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis. I've heard this is iconic, and the only book of his that I've read is American Psycho, but I've been meaning to read this and I just haven't. Unnatural Causes, The Life and Many Deaths of Britain's Top Forensic Pathologist. This is more for the morbid curiosity, to be honest. The Autobiography of Malcolm X. Less, Andrew Sean Greer. I got this after Carly recommended it when I first got into her channel, and unfortunately she doesn't really make book videos anymore, which is a shame. Ghost Chili by Nikita Bakshani. This is a proof that I was sent last summer. The Seven Moons of Malai Almeida. I got this, it was like reduced in Heian Y, and that was a couple of years ago now. Yeah, I've not read it. The Searcher by Tanya French. A disappearance, a small town, a question that needs answering. This was, you know, for sometimes when I fancy a thrill. Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung. Blue Nights by Joan Didion. Miss Iceland by... I can't read that font. Audra Ava Ulfstotter. Someone bought this for my sister and she hadn't read it, and I looked and I thought it sounded good, so I just put it on my shelf. The Ice Princess by Tarjay Vassas. This was a gift. Aradine by Jennifer Saint. I got this not long after I joined Bookstagram when I was trying to discover what I like to read. I do like Greek myths and I want to know more about it, but still haven't read it. Oh, and then there's 2 at the end. Shuggy Bane and this massive A Little Life. Now on to the final shelf, but it's not the last of the books. Angle change. I've just looked at how long I've been recording for and it's been like 30 minutes and we're not even through half the books, so we're going to do a quick fire with this final shelf. Stonewall by David Carter. Sympathy by Olivia Sudjuk. The Shining by Stephen King. Girlhood by Melissa Fabos. Frida by Hayden Herrera. Biography of Frida Kahlo. My auntie recommended this to me. Unabridged Journals of Sylvia Plath. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Getting to lots of classics here that I haven't read. Another Miranda July. The First Bad Man, a novel by Miranda July. I was gifted this by a friend about 10 years ago. Don't judge me. Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous. Resurrection by Leo Tolstoy. I don't know what possessed me to get that. And Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And that's it for the shelves. But now we're gonna quick fire onto the TBR cart. Camera angle change. So as you can see, this is my TBR cart. It's a little out of hand and I've had a lot of books on there for a while. So I do think I'm gonna have to cull a few of the books because if I haven't read them yet, someone else can get joy from them. But you'll have to come back for that video because it's going to be a reorganise of the shelf and unhaul, and I'm actually going to bring a bigger bookshelf I have downstairs, upstairs. But we're just going to fire through these. The Daughters of Medora, I was sent that. haven't read. We'll just cut to the chase. I've read none of these. See What You Made Me Do by Jess Hill. We All Go Into the Dark by Francisco Garcia. Radium Girls by Kate Moore. Yoke by Mary H. Choi. A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. I said to my friend, is this a joke? Also, I seen a TikTok and they were saying, is it ever this serious? Whoops. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Klonk. I'll probably get rid of that and just listen on audiobook. White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. And Priest Daddy by Patricia Lockwood. Olga Dies Dreaming. Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead. Careless by Kirsty Capes. The Science of Fate by Hannah Critchlow. The Foghorn Echoes by Danny Ramadan. The Incredible Events in Women's Cell Number 3 by Kira Yarmush. Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. A lot of these I was sent by publishers. Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. Wednesday's Child by Yin Yun Lee. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Abolition, Feminism Now by Angela Davis. Anatomy, A Love Story by Dana Schwartz. Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. I Have Some Questions for You, Rebecca Mackay. Homebodies by Tembe Denton Hurst. A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan. I'm going to knock these books over here. Anita De Monte Laughs Last. Come and Get It by Kylie Reid. Memorial by Brian Washington. Northwoods by Daniel Mason. Greek Myths by Charlotte Higgins. Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambo. Stag Dance by Tori... you can't even see me. Sorry for cutting my head off there. Stag Dance by Tori Peters and Venus in Pisces by Kiara Blanchett. This was sent to me, self-published by this poet, and we'll fly through these. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, Anne Bronte. The Silence in Between, Josie Ferguson. Enter Ghost, Isabella Hamad. Pet, Catherine Chidgey. On Earth Will Be Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vyong. Furies by multiple authors. Stories of the Wicked, Wild and Untamed. Real Americans, Rachel Kong. Strangers, Tachi Yamada. True Love, Paddy Crew. Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. And The Comeback by Ella Behrman. So all of those are TBR, and you may be thinking, Rachel, that is a lot of books. Well, camera angle change. Hopefully this angle's okay. I need to get more water. Yet you may think, Rachel, I thought we'd looked at all the books. No. Round 2. These are all the books that I've been sent or I've bought over the last year. I haven't read, obviously, and I also can't fit them on my shelf. So these are what I've been sent and these are what I've bought myself. So we're just gonna quick fire through them, okay? Carol by Patricia Highsmith. All About Love by Bell Hooks. The Coin by Yasmin Zahir. The Story of a New Name, Book 2 in Neapolitan Quartet by Elena Ferrante. I've been saying this is the year of me Neapolitan Quartet, but it hasn't been yet. Normal Woman by Ainsley Hogarth. A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. Hard Copy by Fen Veldman. Talking at Night by Claire Devilry. My friend Susanna recommended that to me. Real Life by Brandon Taylor. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Madonna in a Fair Coat by Sabatini Ali. I'm actually going to read that next, so she's getting put there. Human Acts by Han Kang. Behind You Is the Sea by Susan Modai Zajar. Beautyland by Marie Helen Benito. Is it Benito? Some fonts I can't read. Bettino, sorry. Someone I follow on Bookstagram raves about this. It's got like a sci-fi element, so I'm a bit like, will I like it? Care Spread by Sophie McIntosh. I should actually read this during the summer because I've heard it's kind of summery. I'm going to put that to the side. Rouge by Mona Awad. And it's funny because my auntie got me it because I was desperate for it, and then I got sent the paperback a few months later, so I have 2 copies. The Bookshop Woman by Nanako Hanada. Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. Fabulosa by Paul Baker. The Story of Polari, Britain's Secret Gay Language. Got this in Hay on Why. My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. Is this book 1? Yeah, this is book 1 in the Neapolitan Quartet. So see, I bought book 2 preparing. I just didn't read it. Jane is Trying by Izzy Sutty. The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. The Argonauts by Maggie Nelson. Supplication by Nor Abby Nakul. The Queens of Sarmiento Park by Camilla Sosa Valada. The Heart Principle by Helen Hoyang. Not really a romance girl, but one of my Bookstagram friends said she liked it, so I got it and I just haven't read it yet. House of Impossible Beauties by Joseph Cassara. Mornings in Jenin by Susan Abulhawa. The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. I bought that years ago and I've still not read it. A Woman Is No Man by Etaf Rum. Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. Salt Slow by Julia Armfield. Butter by Asako Yuzuki. And Out by Natsu Karino. Someone in the comments on one of my videos a few months ago recommended this and it sounds so good. I'm just like, Rachel, why have you not read it yet? Then we've got this basket here. I think I'm going to cull a few of these, but that's as I mentioned for the next video. We've got The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Marina Enriquez. Women Talking by Miriam Toes. You Again by Kate Goldbeck. The World According to Joan Didion by Evelyn MacDonald. Speak of the Devil by Rose Wilding. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I literally bought this book when I first joined Bookstagram and that was in 2022 I think. Objects of Desire. I actually don't even know why I bought this. I just randomly bought it in the sale and I've never read it and I probably never will. And Making a Scene by Constance Wu. The dust is making me face itch. So now we're moving on. All of these books, these are the last of the books, and these are all books that have been sent to me kindly by publishers. Seriously though, do you think I own too many books? Be honest. Be honest. Again, the video's going to be too long, so we're going to fly through.
It's been 84 years.
Above Us is the Sea by Anna Card, sent this by Dead Ink. Self-Portrait Whip Boy by Rachel Leon, sent this by Scribner. Honeybees and Distant Thunder, Riku Onda, sent this by Doubleday. Cautious Traveller's Guides to the Wastelands, a gorgeous edition if I say so. Apparently that was supposed to be released last year, but I haven't heard much about it, by Sarah Brooks, sent by W&N. We Are Not Numbers, The Voices of Gaza's Youth by Hutchin and Hyman. Bodies by Christine Ann Foley by John Murray's. Please Fear Me, Jennifer Love, sent this by Lighthouse Books, I think. Valley of the Dolls, a classic by Virago, thank you. The Sleeping Car Porter by Suzette Mayer. Dialogue Books, sent me that. Fish Tales by Nettie Jones. This is apparently a lost classic and it sounds really good. I can't wait to read it. I'm going to put it over there because it's going to be my priority TBR. The Trunk by Kim Rio Ryong, sent by Doubleday. My arms are hurt. Feast While You Can by Michaela Clements and Anjuli Datta, Simon and Schuster. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Yeah, I do own 2 copies. I was sent this though. Time of the Flies by Claudia Pinheiro. Loved Elena Knows, so can't wait to read that. A Family Matter by Claire Lynch, sent by, can't see who it's sent by. Idle Grounds by Christelle Bamford. Hutchin and Hyman. Killer Potential by Hannah Deach. Coming spring 2025. Apparently it's like a Thelma and Louise vibe. W&N, thank you. Bittersweet by Hattie Williams, sent by Orion. Ow, my arms. You wouldn't think I do Pilates. Holding books is such hard work. Great Black Hope by Rob Franklin, sent by Summit Books. Lobster by Holly McNish, sent by Fleet. Our Sister Killjoy by Ama-Ato Adu, sent by Faber. After You'd Gone by Maggie O'Farrell, sent by Tinder Press. They sent me a lovely little gift with that. Promise by Rachel Eliza Griffiths, sent by John Murray. This was the first book I was ever sent. I think it was 2 years ago now. Moth by Melody Razak by W&N. I've still not read it. To the Moon by Jang Rujin, sent by Bloomsbury. The Lost District by Joel Lane, sent by Influx. Teddy by Emily Dunley, sent by Forth. An Ode to Crisps, Crunch by Natalie Whittle. If you don't know, I absolutely love crisps. Confessions by Catherine Airy. I've heard great things about this, sent by Penguin Viking. The Anthropologist by Esigil Savas, Scribner. I was trying my best with that pronunciation. Here's the second copy of Rouge, so possible giveaway with that. The Sleepwalkers by Scarlett Thomas, sent by Scribner. Absolutely adore that cover. Blue Ruin by Harry Kundry, sent by Scribner too. The Wardrobe Department by Elaine Garvey, sent by Canongate Books.
Whoopsie.
What Hunger by Catherine Dang. This is a proof due out in August. And who sent me this? Of course, we're near the end. Ordinary Love by Marie Rutkowski. Exile by Amy Walsh by John Morris. I really need to read this because there's parts of it that are set in Liverpool. And I'm just like, girl, represent your city. And finally, I'm F***ing Amazing by Anushka Warden, sent by Trapeze. So they're all the books on my physical TBR. Feel free to shame me. I know I have a problem. I have a problem.
Shame. Shame.
My name's Rachel and I have a book buying problem. And I'm going to do a time lapse right now of me counting all the books, okay?
A few moments later.
So I've just counted all the books and I'm really embarrassed to say I've got 200 unread books. 200. Right, that's an issue. That's a problem. 200 unread books. And am I going to read all 200? Maybe at one point in my life. I need to make more of an effort to read them. So yeah, there's everything on my physical TBR. And in the next video I'm going to do, in a few weeks' time, I'm going to rearrange the shelves and unhaul some of the books that I've had that I don't think I'm going to read or I'm not pulled to read because I need to be a bit more critical and I need to be a bit more strict with myself. So come back for part 2. That was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel seen if you're a bookish person. If you're a bookworm, you're a collector. My sister calls me a bit of a hoarder. But let me know what your number is. What's your number? Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. But yeah, I'm going to go sit in my shame now. Thanks for watching. Take care and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.